What's a rule that was implemented somewhere that massively backfired? My company has a strict no alcohol policy. You can't begin work within 10 hours of having had a drink. So whenever there's a staff shortage and they need me to come in right away, guess who just cracked open a cold one? Company asterisk, but it's 6 a.m. asterisk me, asterisk, don't fucking judge me, asterisk. My work has an infraction system. If you're a minute late, that's half a point. If you're up to 4 hours late, that's half a point. So if you're going to be a minute late, you might as well be 4 hours late because it's the same penalty. Edit. For those who keep pointing out that you would miss 4 hours of pay. I know. My work is weird and lets you fill in missing time with PTO at the end of the work week. We also don't get sick days, so you have to take PTO if you are sick. And even then you're likely to get points because you called in less than 24 hours before your shift starts. It's not an issue if you get half a point and don't get another for 6 months because the first one will have fallen off by then. I received 2 written warnings about being late at my last retail job. One for 10 minutes, the other for not being there 15 minutes before the store opened. Instead, I was there 5 minutes before. The people who didn't show up at all, or called in sick 5 minutes before their shift, never got a warning. I told myself if there was ever another time I knew I was going to be late, I should just turn around and call in sick instead. Never got to test that in the end though, because I ended up getting a job in my field a little while after. English law in Wales set the death penalty for stealing a sheep. Welshmen caught stealing sheep would claim to be making love to them. They would get a lesser penalty for bestiality. The consequence of this is they Welshmen gained a reputation as sheep shaggers. Sure, that's what the Welsh would like you to believe. My institute banned porn sites in its Wi-Fi. Most people weren't tech-savvy enough or bold enough to ask how to bypass it. Then the institute banned Facebook. Everyone learned using proxy in matter of days. Let's just say the servers were under heavy pressure then onwards. They have blocked Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. at my work. Only issue is we're a software development firm, so we all know what a VPN is and how to use it. Edit. Thank you for the silvers, kind strangers. Also, the infamous Barbados vs Grenada soccer match. The organizers of the 1994 Caribbean Tournament Cup had a rather odd change to the rules for extra time. If a game was still drawn at full time, it would go to extra time, but the first goal scored would win. This is perfectly normal. The golden goal rule. What was different is that they ruled that winning this way would count as having won by *2* goals for the purpose of tournament qualification, instead of just one. Barbados went into a match against Grenada needing 2 goals to qualify for the main tournament. If they lost, or won by only 1 goal, Grenada would qualify instead. Under the regular rule, this would mean that if the match went to extra time, there would basically be no point Barbados playing, because even if they scored, they would only win by 1 goal, and not qualify. But the 2-point rule would motivate them to play on. Sound good? Well, you might be able to guess what happened. The match looked like it was about to end with Barbados 2-1 Grenada, a win for Barbados, but not the 2 goals they needed. So Barbados * deliberately scored an own goal * in the last few minutes of the match, making the score 2-2, hoping to trigger extra time and a chance to score the magic 2-value goal. The Grenada players quickly realized they could do the same, score an own goal to make the match 3-2 to Barbados, which would have Barbados winning by only 1 goal, so Grenada would qualify. But the Barbados players realized that too, and so they began * to defend Grenada's goal *. So for the last 7 minutes of the match, Grenada were trying to score a goal * in either net *. Since scoring a goal against Barbados would give them 3-2 and they would win the match, and scoring in their own goal would make it 3-2 to Barbados, so they would lose the match but win. the qualification, and Barbados were defending both. Amazingly, Barbados did actually manage to do so, successfully defending themselves while half of their team were defending Grenada's goal against Grenada, and then scored the golden goal in extra time and qualified. I am really happy I scrolled down this far because this is funny as shit. Alcohol bans at college football games has led to increased intoxication problems because fans are loading up before going in the stadium. Monsieur, universities love to fuck up with alcohol-related things. My university decided to pull over campus buses on weekend nights and give out tickets to drunk passengers, as well as look out for walking drunks. The following month had more dues than the entire previous year. Everyone's excuse was they were scared to walk or take the bus, so they drove. I worked at Macy's one Christmas and found out the reason why you can never find anyone at the registers is because they don't allow employees to stand at the register because it's intimidating. I can't tell you how many times I gave up trying to purchase something there because I couldn't find anyone to ring me up. This so much. Like, I get the goal, but it's a whole lot more intimidating when I can't figure out how I'm expected to buy anything. Last summer in Sweden, bus drivers in some counties started wearing shorts due to the heat wave. After being denied to continue doing so by management, they started wearing skirts instead. Dress code policies had banned shorts, but not skirts. This happens a lot every summer in UK schools. Boys turn up in shorts, get told to go home because it's not allowed, so groups of them go in skirts because there isn't a rule about those. Normally gets printed in the local paper and sometimes picked up by bigger outlets. Gets the school some bad publicity and they usually change the rules to allow shorts. One of the high-rise blocks I have to maintain has a sign saying, "Anything left here will be removed due to it being a fire risk." People just dump the shit there they don't want, like fridges and sofas, and by law we have to take it. Fuck me right. Edit. I have no authority to put up cameras as they are council blocks and I'm a council worker that has zero help from management because quite frankly they don't give a shit because they don't have to remove it. Congrats British taxpayers. You pay me to remove pieces of shit's fly tipping daily. I'm sorry for the shitty human beings on this earth. Where is this? Asking for a friend. I'm asking for myself. I have shit to put elsewhere. Dry counties were meant to reduce use of alcohol in certain areas, but they result in people who want to get drunk driving further away from home to do so, increasing the odds and frequency of drunk driving accidents. Also, many attempt to rescind dry county laws end up getting countered by campaigns paid for by the bars and liquor stores that set up on the edge of dry counties, typically under the guise of religious messages. This exact thing happened here a few years ago when it was on the ballot. Two measures were up. One to allow alcohol sales at the state level, and one to allow it at the county level. A few counties passed it at the county level but voted against it at the state level, so that their county would be wet in the middle of dry counties and they'd get out of county revenue. My county voted against it at both levels, with help of $1 in contributions from the largest liquor store just on the other side of the county line. We're a county with 3 colleges and they currently get all of that revenue. If we were to go wet, it'd cost them far more than they contribute to the campaign against it. It sucks. In French Indochina, there was a major problem with rodents eating supplies and bringing disease. Given the plentiful supply of cheap unemployed workers, the colonial authorities thought they could be used to kill the rats and bring their numbers down. The French had a somewhat racially prejudiced view of the work ethic of the locals, so decided to pay them per rat killed rather than per hour worked. Each was compensated for every dead rat they handed over. A year or so later, the colonial authorities discovered the peasants had set up rat breeding farms in the jungle. Washington state made it mandatory for schools to drop their room temperatures to save on electricity. The result? Teachers brought their own heaters into their offices and use of electricity increased. Not sure if it is still the case, as I graduated many years ago. But where I went to college, the hospitals had a thing where if someone came in with alcohol poisoning, and they were underage, then they'd also call the cops. So of course what happened was when underage kids really should have gone to the hospital, their friends wouldn't call an ambulance because of fear the cops would punish people. Luckily, while I was there weren't many deaths due to alcohol poisoning. But there were more than 0. Edit. For clarity, I wasn't saying the people calling would get punished by the cops. I was saying the person with alcohol poisoning would be punished. But people still didn't want to call for fear that their friend may get in legal trouble. My state, Michigan, has no consequence reporting and help. If you are underage and call yourself or have someone call for you, you won't be charged at all. If the cops are the ones to pick you up, it is your fault and you will be charged. Also, they changed underage drinking to a misdemeanor now versus a felony like how it used to be. Edit. Felony should be misdemeanor, and misdemeanor should be a civil infraction. I was always told that it would show up pretty easily for jobs, so I thought it was a felony. It was actually a misdemeanor. I worked somewhere with the clean desk policy on Friday afternoons. The common way around this was that everyone would just sweep all their paperwork into an envelope, stick it in the internal mail, and then it would arrive back on your desk on Monday morning. You wouldn't just put it in a drawer? No, we didn't have much drawer space, and that tended to be where people kept tools, stationery, or custom bits of glassware that they'd had specially blown. At one point in history, the president of Paraguay tried to eliminate racism by making it illegal to marry someone within your own ethnic group. Needless to say, this was quite racist. You have to eat whatever you touch was a rule in my kindergarten, which led to all the children touching all the food to call dibs on it. Does that also apply to glue and shit? Oh god. Or the other children? Tag suddenly becomes lethal. Billy, pass me the ruler. Asterisk passes it, and at the moment of handoff their hands briefly touch asterisk. Asterisk, their eyes lock together. Neither of them wanted this, but they know what must be done. Asterisk. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.